What's up guys, Johnny here, welcome back. Today I want to give you my first impressions of the Caddx Turbo Micro F1 camera. But first, I want to talk to you a little bit about why I'm even looking at Caddx cameras or any other cameras for that matter. If you've been a long-time subscriber, if you've been subscribed for a while, you know that I'm a really big fan of the Runcam Micro Sparrow camera. It's treated me really well. I run 16:9 goggles, the Dominator V3 goggles. And back when I started doing 4.3 versus 16:9 testing, I found that for me personally, having that 16:9 camera match up to my 16:9 goggles really helped me get around the racetrack as efficiently as possible. Basically what I was finding is, as I started taking turns faster and faster, as I'd go up at an angle as I'm taking a turn, the fact that a 4.3 camera with my 16:9 goggles would stretch it out, what happened is when I go up vertical like this, or on my side, that's a really tall gate. And as I come back like this, it goes to being a short gate and a wide gate. And that just changing dimensions of the gate just really started to bother me. And I couldn't take the turns as fast as I wanted to while trying to hit gates. Switching out to something without that distortion, all of a sudden I was hitting these turns faster and faster. And I've never looked back since. All I want to do is match up my 16:9 with that 16:9 goggles. Part of me still wishes I had 4.3 goggles instead. I think that would be ideal for racing. But as it is, I've been sticking with that Runcam Sparrow. However, if you take a look at all these boxes I have of Runcam cameras, you'll see that I've gone through a lot of them. I've been breaking them left and right just constantly, and it's just driving me absolutely crazy. I spent way too much money on Runcam Micro Sparrow cameras, and I just need to know if there's a good alternative that's going to work well for me. So anyway, things I did first before trying out this Caddx camera. If you look here at this build, you'll notice that I have a blue canopy wrapped around my camera. So what was happening is I would strike things with my build and it would hit the camera. That lens would be pushed into the back of the sensor, smash the sensor, destroy the camera housing, destroy the lens, all sorts of damage. So what I figured is if I put a little protection around that camera, if I smack into it, hopefully the TPU is going to absorb enough of the impact to save the camera. And this was working out pretty well at first, but I hit that gate just right on. I broke another camera. Even with this, it definitely helped to save the camera. The only thing that broke in that case was the lens got pushed back through the threads, so the threads became bent. So a new housing would fix that particular problem. That was better than I'm usually seeing. So on my standard Mach 1 racer with the blue protection, it still wasn't good enough. It's still, hitting it was causing damage. And there is actually some protection for the camera in the Mach 1. If I put my finger across this way and I hit, it looks like it should be protected, but it also sticks out just enough that I am hitting things. So anyway, I started flying with the Mode 2 Ghost when I was doing my 6S build. This is my 6S racer here. And when I fly with this one, the camera's actually recessed more behind inside the frame. If I smack the front, there's a good amount of separation between, whatever I hit and that camera. So I thought having this frame with a more recessed camera was gonna protect it more. But wouldn't you know it, the way I fly, I hit a gate, smacked it right in, destroyed another camera. All right, so at this point, no matter what I'm racing the Mach 1, my standard build here like this. I put a little bit of TPU protection on it like this one. I switched to another frame that protects it a little bit better. I just can't keep these cameras from being destroyed. The Micro Sparrow, I believe, is $30. This Caddx camera here, which I picked up, was only $20. I only bought one. I want to test it out and see how it works. Shared my findings with you guys, and I have had a chance to install it in one of my builds. This is one of my Mach 1 racers. Same thing, has a little bit of protection. Not a whole lot, just like the other Mach 1s. One thing that I did notice though is that the casing of the Caddx camera seems to be a little bit more substantial than the Micro Sparrow. If that actually means it'll be more durable, time will tell. I'm really hoping it will, but who really knows? Anyway, on this build, I had a chance to take it to the dome and put it through some tests in direct comparison to this build right here with the Micro Sparrow. Now, first thing I noticed as soon as I fired it up, as soon as I got on the line, the picture looks a bit different. Now, it wasn't different in a way that bothered me. In fact, I'm not even that big of a fan of the way that the Sparrow looks. I think it does pretty poor job of color handling. And I thought that the Caddx camera did kind of a poor job of color handling as well. But it was overall a brighter image. It was pretty easy to see. As I was flying around, it was pretty easy to navigate my ways. The colors weren't really bothering me. I could see them going up and down as I flew, but it didn't bother me while flying. So I thought that was a plus in the column for the Caddx. Second, as I was flying, what I noticed is that the field of view is more narrow than I get when I'm running the Micro Sparrow. That's both in vertical standpoint and also in horizontal, and that's a big letdown for me. One of the things I really don't like about the Micro Sparrow is that field of view. I feel like it's just not quite wide enough for racing. It doesn't deliver on what I need, especially when I got used to running 4.3 cameras where it's a little bit wider, or at least vertically it was wider than what I was getting with the Micro Sparrow. And you know, I got used to it. I just set the tilt to the right spot, but I don't have the flexibility in flight like I used to with my 4.3 cameras. Anyway, with the Caddx, it's even less field of view. So I feel like that's gonna be a big problem for me around a racetrack. But at the same point, I did set up a racetrack inside that dome and saw how I did. Now, as I was flying, at least with that particular track, that shorter field of view really did not bother me too much. I didn't notice any latency issues whatsoever. I had complete control as I was flying around the course. I felt like I was flying it pretty well. I only had a chance to put through a few different batteries on that track, and I've never flown it before. Having the performance of the Caddx, where I felt zero latency, I felt like I was getting pretty good performance out of my quad through that racetrack, and overall the image wasn't displeasing. It actually worked pretty well. I was getting a decent picture. I had no trouble flying with it. For 20 bucks, I think it's an absolute bargain of a camera. So will it be my primary go-to racing camera? I do want to get away from the Sparrow gradually as I start breaking out, just to hopefully find something more durable. Do I think the Caddx is going to end up being that answer? Probably not. I think the field of view is going to be too much of an issue for me. But at the same point, I think $20 to try, and if it ends up being really durable, it's an amazing bargain. The performance is great as far as latency goes. I think it's going to work really well around the racetrack. It's the exact right form factor for what I want in my racers. So I think Caddx really has a winning combination, at least for the price. I think it's a good option. I don't think it's going to end up being the right option for me, but I really can't complain with the performance I was getting around that racetrack. It worked really well. I'm just hoping for that little bit more. And anyway, I just want to do a real quick video for you guys, share with my initial impressions, and hopefully you found that helpful. And as always, guys, I'll catch y'all next time. Peace!